should the state send money to the cities that buy things that the residents or taxpayers would not buy if they had to pay for it? So what I would want to see happening is, or what is happening, is people are seeing the value of their homes go down and their property taxes going up. And the government can't hide that. They cannot hide that. So people react to that. And people go to school board meetings or city council meetings and say to the cities like Maplewood, why do we have two city managers here? Why do we have city manager 1 and city manager 2, each making what, 150, 180, 170,000 plus benefits? Why do we have two city attorneys? Why do we, when you come here and you have a council meeting, do you have, what, 14, 16 people sitting around? I mean, go to the St. Paul School Board. I think what's going to happen is next St. Paul School Board meeting, we're going to have one of our cameras down there. I already talked to one of the cameramen, and I think we're going to have our camera down there so you see how large, not there, you're going to see how large, why don't you call the maker of that, the producer of...
we know the problem.
We know the problem.
Yeah.
And it's not going to work.
This is an R+, we need an R-.
Aha. It's using, whether you use an R- or an R+ DVD to put the material on. So somebody got a deal on some DVDs and the second half of the show, and that person wonders why you know, folks, when everything is done with volunteers and we don't have like St. Paul Schools or the city of Maplewood, these endless staff people that we can pay $150,000 a year to with your money, and we have to depend on all the volunteers that work on this show and gather material and do things. Now, yes, once in a while we have a glitch. So we have a glitch tonight. And so we're going to do it without the DVD. We had some good DVD. Of course, with the, which I refer over to the Maplewood Council there as all numbers, because remember, when you go address the council, and St. Paul Schools, that you cannot, they don't want you to talk about people by name. They don't want you to even refer to positions by title. They want you to be so ambiguous that nobody is held accountable. So of course, when I talk to the council over there, there's Kathy Juniman, who's 0 of 5. There's Will Rosbach, who used to be 1 of 5, but now if you go on John Nephew's website, he said he is 1 of 5, so I guess that must make Rosbach 2 of 5. And then you have Copen, he must be about 3 of 5. And then you have Lannis, he's 4 of 5. And as a whole, they're 5 of 5, but when you have 0 of 5, Kathy Juniman, you end up by individuals, you only have 4 of 5. All right, and just so you understand, when I go up there and refer to them by numbers, that's why. That's why. And people, you ought to be outraged at your government when you can't go down there and honestly say, so-and-so in this department head or that department head did this or did that or didn't do that. And we expect, because we're the employer and we're paying for all this foolishness, we expect these people to be held accountable. Nobody wants to be accountable anymore, and the administration doesn't want to hold the other administrators accountable either. All right, we have a phone call. Let's take a phone call. Caller, are you with us? Question or comment?
Hi, Bob. How you doing?
Good. Good evening.
Patty
Hi,
from
Patty.
Wipers.
Oh, wipers. Okay, Patty. We were there was going to be some comments about what the city of Maplewood is doing to wipers.
Well, it's tough. It's hard. Wipers has a state contract, and for some reason, no one's buying. We got a lot of good products. Our products are cost effective compared to our competitor. They're very good prices, and they're very good products. Actually, our rigs are very good. I mean, better than the others is what I'm hearing, and the price is less. But anyways, I'm not calling about that. Wipers has looked deep into, no one will buy from us. I've tried several different things, and the lawsuits just ruined us. But I've also realized, other people are having awful times. I mean, it's terrible in business. I started this business up, and it's not all finished, but the first meeting will be the first of the year, the beginning of next year. And it's a web-based business where everyone can join, but they need to sign a contract, and it's pretty tight. They need to agree to purchase 40% of their products from each other. And one of the things is it has to be products made in USA. They need to be small businesses in the area and Minnesota at this present time. And they cannot boost the prices, or they cannot low bid it where people can't make money. And I've also realized, speaking to people, I've found people that are paying $1,200 and whatever a year for homeowners insurance for a home that's only $180,000. And then I'm wondering, why is this going on? So it's going to work both ways. It's going to help companies be able to sell and to each other, and people get USA-made products and products that are really made here, not overseas in China, really made here, and it's helping create jobs. And it's also going to help people, for they cannot be taken advantage of on buying, because there's a small board of people, and you also have to agree that you cannot sue each other. And if there's a dispute, it's done by the people.
All right, Patty, thank you.
But I wanted to tell you about that because we need to go.
I appreciate that, Patty.
And no one is buying.
I will talk about that a little bit.
And I think it's important to.
Thank you for your call. So, what Patty is talking about, and I've talked to her about, and you have to remember, Patty is the one that the Maplewood put the police and the fire, broke down the door of her business, beat her in front of her employees, traumatized her, permanently injured her. If you look at Maplewood's budget, there's a line item in there for hundreds of thousands of dollars to because of what they're going to pay because of what they did to her and her business. So that's the cost that they're incurring over there. And so what Patty has come up with is she's trying to put together it's similar to where people used to trade labor. She's trying to put together a consortium of businesses that deal back and forth, reduce their costs in this trading group. Of course, what's wonderful about that is the government can't skim off of it as much money as they do. So I don't know if call Wipers Recycling. It's in the old Northern Tool Building right there on 36th and English. Just look up Wipers Recycling and you can find it. Okay, where were we? I was talking about the property taxes and what that means to be accountable. And I very much think that these units of government, Maplewood, of course, is raising their budget from 45 million to 49 million. Well, it's 49 and a half, I think. So they might as well say 50 million. They have a $76 million debt. 28 cents out of every dollar just goes to have to pay for their overspending in the past. Isn't that something that if every dollar you brought home, 28 cents you didn't have use of? Well, that's what Maplewood did. Now, of course, when I was there Monday night, and the citizens get 5 minutes to address the council. And that's what I wanted to show you. I once again had to say to the chairperson, you're being rude. Can you please let the citizen and the press have their 5 minutes, and you have 3-4 hours up here to pontificate and, you know, give yourself all these self-adulations. But, you know, let the 5 minutes that the citizen has, let the citizen say what they want to say. Well, of course, in my case, when I introduced myself and mentioned to the council that, of course, I have a financial and property interest in Maplewood, Mr. Chairperson wants to ask me personal questions. I don't ask him personal questions. I ask him questions about the city and what's happening to the citizens and taxpayers. You know, I don't ask him questions like, were you one of the people that had an intimate relationship with the Human Resource Director, Sherry Lay? Yeah, I don't ask him those kind of questions, because that doesn't have to do with the city. You know, those are personal things. So now they have a new rule. If you have a question in regard to one of the staff people, you call up the city manager. They don't want you to come before the city council and actually bring the issue so the rest of the public can see what's happening up there. Same way with the school districts. I've always said to people, don't get sucked in to going in the back room and talking to one of these administrators. You need to go to the public meeting, which makes an account of what you've said, and it becomes part of the record, and the other people can see what's happening. That's what you want to do. Don't ever, ever have these people say, well, why don't you just come and talk to us over here in the corner, Bob? No, that's what they want, because they don't want the light of day to shine in. So now when you have two city managers up there and city attorneys and all these people sitting around at these meetings, and then you have this environmental planner called Sean Finwald. And originally she was going to be, and we have a phone call, was going to be let go under the previous set of council people up there. But then the new council said, well, the citizens, taxpayers were told that she'll be paid for by grants. She'll go out and get these grants, and she'll be charged, be in charge of the green Maplewood, to write articles about how green Maplewood is. You know what green means. Well, what her job has become is to put these plastic bins by the copiers, so when they make too many copies or something isn't straight, they can recycle the paper. And no, she's not, her salary isn't paid for by grants, it's back in the budget. So that's the kind of stuff that you have.